I have a question for you. Good morning, it's Diana.
Hi,
Good morning.
Diane.
Okay, on S&P, um, I'm kind of like trying to figure out like your micro peaks. So let's just say from like this morning, like here would be a typical question that I have, and that I would come into some issues. So um, when you see the short at the 91 this morning. I think that Vincent
Mhm,
took and you took, okay? So
mhm,
as you're coming down, so we're still in a bullish trend. So if
mhm.
I didn't catch the short, I'm going to be waiting now for my long entry.
Yeah.
So 85.50 area, would you consider that a peak at all, like a micro support at
Which one?
all at
Which
85.50? Because
80?
I have 81.75 marked, but I did in sim. I was trying to catch along around this 85.50 for a bounce.
Um, yeah, well, here's what you got to do. First of all, where's your main support?
I have it at like 75, 75-ish area.
Okay. Now you want to take that level and slowly move up. So where's your first micro peak?
Oh, right around like the 82.
There you go. There you go. Where's your next one?
So would you count like 85.50 as a peak as well?
No.
No.
Mm-mm.
So I don't understand why would I be thinking then it would go right to 93, which would be my next peak.
My next peak is 87, 88. So, because you're moving up from there.
All right, so why
So
wouldn't I pick the 85.50?
you can pick it if you want to. It's not
Right,
something that interests me.
right.
Um,
So
but you,
I'm thinking, I'm wondering why my I picked that. And I
I,
didn't go right to the 87.50.
there is nothing wrong with you looking at that level. Nothing
But
wrong at all.
that is not a good level to go long.
It
That's what I
could
just,
be. It could be. It was used already. You can see it. It was used yesterday.
okay. So then once it gets to that micro peak, I just have to give it a minute or two to see if it's going to hold or not.
That's
Obviously that did not.
exactly it. Yeah. I mean, you can mark your peaks. It doesn't mean that everybody in the room's going to agree with you, but if you like it, you mark it and see how the market reacts around it. Um, it's just not that big of a difference from my 83 level. So I had no interest in it. So I start with 83 and then and then I move up from there, which is 87. And then I just continue to move up and up and up and up. So that's a very good, that's a good question. And there's nothing wrong with you marking it there. So don't think that you're wrong. You're not wrong. It's a peak. It just didn't interest me, but it might be a good level for you to hit along if it comes down there. You just have to watch the behavior when it comes down to it.
So, but like your stronger micro peaks would have been like the 83, like the 89, like those are your stronger ones.
In this session, yes, because it was resistance, resistance, support from yesterday. Resistance, resistance, support.
Mhm.
So
And
I
when
think, yeah, I think just for a while, I just need to be at my more secure micros instead of, well, yeah, this looks like a good area to wear. You know what? I don't know.
no, you don't, you, Diana, I'm just going to give you 2 cents of advice. You don't want to make levels with that mindset. Oh, this looks good. I'll mark it. No, no,
Right.
you need to have a reason why you are marking that level. If you don't have a good enough reason, you are not going to be confident in entering a trade.
Mhm.
Okay, good point.
So this is where constant studying of your back charts, your history charts are going to help you dial in the levels. If you, like I've said before, and if you're not, yesterday, I think I responded to you, if you are not spot on with your levels, you need to be, because that's the foundation of your trading. Capiche?
Yeah, I got it. So the ones that I'm really confident in, I mark like in a special color. And then the ones where I'm not certain on, you know, those are the ones that I have to work. And if I'm not certain on it, then just remove it. And if the trade goes through it, it goes through it. It wasn't meant for me anyway.
That's exactly right. And if you're not confident about the micro levels yet, don't even use them. Just use your main ones. You can always add those later. The peaks, the micros are not easy. They're not easy.
Gotta be spot on it. And if you have to have a good reason for it, you know what I mean? And you have to do your research on it, because if it's not constantly holding as support resistant, like as resistant and then support or vice versa, then you shouldn't mark it, right? You just shouldn't
No,
mark it.
exactly. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And you don't want to have a million lines on your chart, because that's just going to cloud the issue. So you should
That's
have
not-
your
Go ahead.
you should have your main support and your main resistance. So your main support is like what, 74, your main resistance is like 93. Yeah, it went above 93, but 93 is the level that the bulls should have used at 4,100 to come back down and use as a bounce for an uptrend, but it didn't, it slipped. So that's why I have 93 marked as my resistance area. But obviously it's working past it. So then I'll mark the 4102 area. So you have to have your main levels marked. And if we are above a main support, then you can start working on finding your micro peaks. But don't trade them if you're only 90% or 80% sure of where they are. Don't trade them. Not worth it. You want to make sure you are spot on with those levels. Just as you're spot on with the main levels. That's how sure you have to be with the micro levels.